So we are going to have our final founder come up, Hillary Hartley. I will say about Hillary, who I have known for a long time through a totally separate group of people, of course, because we're like all kind of layered in so crazily. What I love about Hillary is that I feel smarter just in conversation with her. I could just be listening, but every interaction I have with her, I just feel smarter. I feel like she just transmits that in every interaction I have, and all the other reasons that make you so baller. So come on up here. You also have to ask her about getting pulled over by the cops later.
Was that the first year? That was my story the first year, which I won't repeat. When Becca asked us to give a very short story about our most meaningful moment of yes, the first thing that popped into my mind was when my wife said yes when I proposed to her, and I thought, oh my God, that's so lame. Is that really it? I can't tell that story. And I started thinking about all the other things I've said yes to subsequently over the last 13 years. And it's been incredible. Two of the big things were packing up our family and moving to Washington, D.C. to say yes to becoming an innovation fellow. 6 months later, when that fellowship was over, having another conversation with my wife saying, do you want to stay a little longer? We're creating this thing, creating 18F. And then most recently, sitting down and saying, there's a pretty awesome job in Toronto. Do you want to go to Toronto? And it took more than one conversation, but she said yes. And we have said yes, and we've said yes together to these really momentous things in our lives. And I would not be standing here right now if it weren't for her. She has been, and she's not here, I wish she was here. She's in town, she's a mile away with our kids. But I wish I could look her in the eye and say thank you, because she is my coach, she is my confidant, she is my consigliere, and I would not be standing here today having done any of the things I've done without her at my side. So I'm going to tell you our engagement story. Very quickly, which it's cute. You can say aw all together and it's fine. But we were dating for a while. We were long distance, and then I moved to San Francisco because she was in law school, made the cross-country trip. And we had known each other for many, many years. We were good friends that had maybe played spin the bottle together in college and things like that. So had sort of a long-standing tingly feeling about each other. But it finally sort of worked out. And I moved to San Francisco to be with her, and it didn't really take us long to have that conversation of like, okay, what's next? And we started sitting on the couch together, looking at websites, the diamond ring websites and all that kind of stuff, very, very cheesy stuff. But it was good because I was getting an inkling of what kind of things she was interested in. So I went to the store, found a really cool store in San Francisco, picked out a ring, it's a very modest engagement ring, but it was in a very large box. You can see where this is going. The ring is modest. It's a single diamond. The box was probably that big, big black box. So we go out to dinner. I've got this thing sitting in my pocket. She didn't see it, but I've got this thing sitting in my pocket. We go to Baker Beach, is a place we like to spend time in San Francisco. We're sitting on a log, and whoop, 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 the police start sort of signaling to everybody on the beach that they have to vacate. They're closing down the beach. It's sunset. I'm thinking, fuck, okay. I've gotten through the evening. I was just about to make the move, and okay, so what are we gonna do now? So I convinced her, let's just drive around, let's go find a place. So we walk, we drive to, there's this really cool overpass for San Franciscans along, God, what's the name of the road that eventually turns into Market Street that goes up over Portola, yeah. So there's this really cool little sort of walkway that goes over Portola, and we had spent 4th of July there once, just watching the fireworks in the fog in San Francisco. exactly. And so anyway, we went there and we were reminiscing, and I had been asking her, because she was about to graduate from law school, I've been asking her, so what do you want for graduation? And she said, oh, just you, Presh. So I was counting on her saying that again, right? So I said, so we're talking, you know, looking at beautiful San Francisco. And I said, you know, so seriously, what do you want for graduation, for your law school graduation? It's a big moment. I've moved across the country to be here, like, you know, she's like, oh, just you, Presh. And I said, okay. And so I get down on one knee. And I'm 5'8", my wife is 5'10", and she always wears very tall shoes, so she's usually like 6 feet tall. So I get down on my knee and I said, well, that's cool. I get down, and I've got this big black box in my hand, and she thinks I'm joking. I think not joking, but like is clearly having an out-of-body experience. Like neither one of us really know what's going on. And I'm looking up at her, you know, 6 feet tall, and she's looking down at me like, what is that? And she looks down, because we both had these, again, 13 years ago, we had these cheesy toe rings. She thought it was a toe ring, like, she had no idea what was going on. And she looks down and she's like, oh, and then she gets down on her knees, and it's like, at this point, very like lesbian, you know, we're just like, neither one of us really know what to do, but we're like hugging, and yes. So the point is, I'm very thankful that she said yes, and I'm glad you have all said yes to be here with us.